So now we're going to go ahead and talk about the simple database storage service. This is, we've used this for, I think, 3 different schools. A couple of them are Transact customers and some of our earliest customers, and then another is storing their photos into Banner. But in each of the cases, the photos are being stored into a relatively simple table, which I think in each of the cases the table only has 2 columns on it. So let's talk about the ways that you can use that. And one of the nice things about databases is it's so easy to write triggers that just dropping them into the database gets you a long way, and then you can kind of customize the behavior on your end with triggers without having to do a lot of work configuring the CloudCard photo downloader. So the simple database storage service is inside of it. Of course, you have to specify in up here in the general settings where the downloader storage service, you'll have to specify that simple database storage service, and then once that's set, then you'll have access to these settings. So you can set the DB mapping table to CloudCard photos. Now these are defaults. Okay, so if you don't care, and to be honest, it's probably a good idea not, just to go ahead and stick with these defaults, because then we're inserting into a table that probably you just create. Like you just create a CloudCard photos table, with a varchar student ID and with a blob photo. Just create that table, and we'll go ahead and drop the photos in there, and then add a trigger to the table to move the photos wherever you'd like them to be moved. An insert trigger that just moves them and then probably just deletes them right out of the table immediately. That's probably the easiest, the most straightforward integration. I will say with Transact, we just, this is the photos table, and then I think this is cust ID, and then there's a photo column, and so we just specify those things, drops them straight in there, and we're good to go. I think with Transact we do have to run the file name resolver because we have the cust_num, and so we run a query at the database file name resolver to query the customer table to get the cust ID from the cust_num, and then we use the cust ID over here to save the photo. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. But like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and go through a full demo of that because I don't have the database set up for it. But if you're working in your own database, like if you're storing photos in Banner, the simplest thing is to just create a new table for this. It gives you that sort of intermediate ground, so you can kind of identify where problems might be happening in the integration. Because the CloudCard photo downloader by itself can be a little bit opaque. Okay, just keep it simple. All right. As far as database connection settings, first off, you'll need to set, if you're using the simple database storage service, you'll need to set the DB data source enable to true. Right. So in other words, I do want to configure a data source, and then assuming we're actually configuring a data source, the default we've got set to SQL Server as far as the driver, which you can also specify out of the box. You can specify the MySQL driver. We could just as easily support Postgres or Oracle. We just need to make a quick little change to add those drivers. But those should be pretty straightforward to support. Okay. Specify in this setting DB data source URL. Simply specify the URL of the database, username, password, schema. A lot of databases don't have schemas, and that's okay if they don't. You can just don't specify that. The Hibernate dialect. So am I using the default is SQL Server? but you can also use MySQL there as well. So pretty straightforward. Like I said, as far as conceptually, the devil's in the details, of course. So maybe we'll do a follow-on video where we actually set up a database and walk through using the simple database storage service. But if you're on the A+ plan, then just reach out to us at support@onlinephoto submission.com and we'll help you get this set up. All right, thanks.